I'm Pablo here from 100% Finance. So I just got finished filling up my tummy because you can't be great on an empty stomach. But in all seriousness, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, right? Your comments that you leave continuously on all our videos provide us with valuable feedback so that we can provide you with content that sticks so you can get closer to financial freedom. Because I know when I first got started, I didn't have a clue about where to get started where financial freedom was concerned. I didn't have a mentor. So that's my job as a people's mentor, to make sure that I provide you with content so you'll be able to become financially free through real estate investing. It just brings me great joy to see the smiles on all of our clients' faces, especially after they close the deal, because during that process, they face many hardships, many tribulations, plenty of obstacles that could have deterred them from closing their deal, but they kept moving forward. Personally speaking, when I first got started, my biggest obstacle wasn't just closing on time, it wasn't just getting all the capital, it was really this, the mindset. And I have a firm belief that the mindset always trumps the skill set. What do I mean by that? Well, when I had 7 rental units in my portfolio, I had to think back several years ago, I needed $2,000 per month to quit my 9-to-5. And if I was averaging, let's say $200 profit or cash flow per unit, then if you do the math, $2,000 I need to quit my job divided by $200 per unit, that equates to 10 rental units. When I did that math, I thought, you know what? I can't do it. It's too daunting of a task to get 10 rental units in 1 year, because in the past, it took me 3 years to get 7 rental units. But I had someone to challenge me to say, you know what? You can do it. It's easy. Take that same skill set, but just do it bigger. And when I had someone push me and challenge me to do it, I ended up doing it. So I challenge you, in order for you to become successful in real estate, face that obstacle and think bigger. Let's just face the facts. Starting off as a real estate investor, you're going to face some struggles. I mean, I did it myself. When I first got started, I faced plenty of struggles. Some of you may be thinking, well, what kind of struggles? Well, is it closing one? Is it just making sure you get the right team, the right agent to find you deals? Is it? No. The biggest struggle I faced was finding the money, because actually I had the wrong mindset about finding properties or closing on properties. I thought I always had to focus on finding a deal. That's driving for dollars. That's sending a yellow letter campaign. That's scouring the internet looking for sweet deals. No. The first thing you need to do is find the money. Because if you find the money, then it'll be much easier to find a deal. So that way, if you find a deal, you'll be running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to raise the capital last minute. It's stressful. Find the money first. So how did I find the money? Well, I found it through business credit. I used business credit cards to acquire multi-family property deals, in which I didn't have to depend upon my hard-earned savings, waiting 12 months to 18 months just to have enough savings in my account to throw towards a down payment if I run a property. So once I found business credit, not only was I able to acquire the 10 rental units I needed to quit my 9-to-5, I actually acquired 21 units that year, to the point I had 30 rental units in my portfolio at 30 years old. What is business credit? Well, business credit are unsecured lines of credit or credit cards in which you can use for business. So as long as you have a registered business and your credit score is looking somewhat decent, you can get access to business credit. Now, don't get me wrong, the business credit will not show up on your personal credit as accounts, but most lenders just want to see how you are as a borrower from your personal standpoint, right? Because if you're credit worthy from a personal standpoint, of course you'll be the same way in your business. Now, Why should a real estate investor utilize business credit? Well, there's 3 reasons. The first reason, I highly recommend you get business credit cards or business lines of credit so you can use it as an emergency fund, because occasionally furnaces break down, you might need to change all electrical panels, things happen, the roof may need replaced. But if you don't have the funds liquid in your bank account, no worries, at least business credit can be that safety net for you. The second reason, you might want to grow your business. You might be a wholesaler out there where you're sending direct mail, yellow letters, and instead of coming out of pocket to pay for those expenses to grow your wholesaling business, you can use business credit for that purpose. And the third reason, and my favorite, is asset acquisition. You can use business credit to fund the following costs in the acquisition: the down payment, the closing costs, so the attorney, the mortgage broker gets paid and so forth, as well as for soft costs. And soft costs are costs incurred prior to closing, such as property inspections, appraisals, things of that nature. All right, so business credit. As a real estate investor, what type of strategy should you use it for? Well, I highly recommend you use it for the buy and hold strategy for multifamily apartment buildings. Why? Because most commercial lenders for multifamily properties, they can care less about where you got your funds from. So business credit is ideal for the buy and hold strategy. However, you must make sure that you use business credit with other forms of financing. Okay? I'm not saying use business credit to acquire a whole 9-unit apartment building, but you can use a portion of that business credit. You still need a mortgage to cover 80%. You still may need seller financing to cover 10%. And then you can use business credit to cover the latter 10% of your down payment costs. All right, you got it? Cool. So hey, as a people's mentor, I don't want to give you too much information because I don't want it to go over your head. So I want you to take a second, get your pen and some pad, take some notes while I finish my job here and inspect the rest of this property. Hey, what are you doing? Looking for a pen? Hey, quit horsing around. Come on, man. We got work to do. One of our clients in our multi-unit acquisition program just acquired a 10-unit apartment building for $200,000. A sweet deal, but let's break down the math. Out of that $200,000, that MAP client should finance that property 100%, use it 100% financing. So let's break down the numbers. Typically, a mortgage lender will provide an LTV, a loan to value of 80% of the purchase price. So it's 80% of $200,000, that's $160,000. So that leaves that client left over $40,000 to finance that deal 100%. So where's he going to get the $40,000 from? Well, he can get a portion of that $40,000, $20,000 to be exact, from seller financing. Seller financing is a great tool that I use for all my deals for multifamily, buy and hold, to the point where I can convince the seller to hold a second mortgage. That's also synonymous with seller financing, owner financing, and the like, seller carry. All those terms are interchangeable. But at the end of the day, the seller will bring 10% of the purchase price, which is $20,000 in this case, to the closing table. So that leaves our MAP client a remainder of $20,000 to finance. So let me ask you a question. Where do you think he's going to get the remainder of that $20,000 from? Well, of course, he's going to get it from business credit. He's going to liquidate his business credit cards or lines of credit to bring the rest of the money to the closing table, so that way he can acquire that property 100% financed. So that is the pro of using business credit. You can use it to acquire the deal, to cover the down payment funds, but you can also use that money not just for down payment, you can also use it for closing costs as well as soft costs. Now the con is this: the interest rates can somewhat go up. You typically have a introductory APR of 0% for about 12 months, but then the interest rate shoots up. But no worries, you can get out of business credit. So that leads me to the exit strategies. How do you exit out of business credit? Well, I'll give you a variety of ways. One way, my philosophy is this: the cash flow. If you don't need it, don't eat it. So whenever you're getting cash flow from that rental property, this 10 unit, right, for $200,000, don't consume that money. You're not financially free yet. Take that money and reinvest it towards paying down the debt service, paying down the business credit. Secondly, when you buy a property, your main focus as the real estate entrepreneur is to improve value. How do you make any asset, any business, any property more profitable. Easy. It's a two-pronged approach. First prong, increase revenue. Rent increases, very simple to do, right? Every tenant, when they move into a property, they expect their landlord or their real estate investor, the owner, to increase those rents. Another way that you can improve the value is decrease the expenses. How do you do that? By having control of the utilities, reducing it, contesting the taxes on the property, bundling insurance. There's a variety of ways in which you can control thy expenditures. The richest man in Babylon says that for the 7 liens of a purse, to cure the 7 liens of a purse, he said that one tool is this: control thy expenditures, okay? So if you implement those extra strategies, you, my friend, can get out of business credit with no sweat. All right, guys, so you got it. Hopefully that information to go over your head. So I definitely want you to take some time now to review your notes while I go over in this property and do some things that I can increase the value and decrease the expenses. So you got a lot to consider, but let me go and get back to work. Business credit definitely isn't required, but hey, it is necessary, especially if you're starting off with low capital, just like myself. I didn't have a family member, a friend, or a colleague who was willing to give me money simply because I didn't have a proven track record. It's understandable. So I had to go out there and get it myself, and that's how I came across business credit. Now, business credit, we definitely know how to use it. I've used it for all my real estate portfolio, and I know how to liquidate the cash, in which most companies do not, all right? So if you're interested in learning more about business credit, check out our website, 100%finance.com, and thanks for watching the video. Be sure to comment and subscribe, all right? As always, guys, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rosalind right here. She's actually one of the clients in our multi-unit acquisition program. So Rosalind, you just closed on a 21 unit? Mm-hmm. Right? Yes. So how was that experience?
It was long, but it was good. It's well worth it. I'm happy, very satisfied with working with Juan and the whole team. It was great.
And you can attest, right? Not everything goes as peachy.
That's right, yes.
Sweet as possible. Sometimes you have a lot of hiccups, right? Especially with closing. Because in her case in particular, you acquired 9 buildings. These 9 buildings had, what, 21 units in total?
Yes, 21 units.
So with each different building, they all had their things going on, which delayed the closing, but at the end of the day, we closed. Hey, you got the keys real quick? I just want to show them the keys real quick. This is what you go to closing for right here, right?
Yes.
All this right here. So she got her 21 units in Pittsburgh, PA, a cash run property, and we just want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
And thanks again for being part of the team.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.